Alrighty, whoops, I not quite in the screen there. So welcome everybody. It is Tuesday night and we are ready to do some stamping. My name is Julie Brown. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and if this is your first time here tonight, welcome. I am so glad to have you. Hopefully I can teach you something or show you something that you didn't think about before and get your creativity up and running. For those of you that are new to my channel and watching me, you can tell me hi by typing in the comments your name and say hi. Also, if you have any questions, go ahead and type those in the comments and I will try to answer them as I go live. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, it is a replay. You can still type in questions for me and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Most importantly, you guys, make sure you follow, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Let me get some housekeeping out of the way and then we will get started with card making. So first, this is the September hostess code. So for those of you that are planning on placing orders with me, please make sure you write that down and use that code if your order is going to be below $150. You can order through me at juliebrown.stampinup.net. My email is juliescreativestampin@gmail.com. And then my Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagrams are Julie's Creative Stamping. And then my YouTube channel, it's a little bit different. You have to type in juliebrown.Julie's Creative Stamping. Now, I do have a blog, but it is under construction right now. So if you go there, it's not going to look real great right at the moment. I'm in a class learning how to make it look better. And so I'm in the middle of designing and not designing and changing a bunch of things up. But you can go to my blog post and you will see a lot of the cards that I do. And that is at juliescreativestamping.com. Alrighty. So are we ready to go tonight? So I wanted to play with the Trimming the Tree bundle. And the reason is because Trimming the Tree has been in the annual catalog since it came out. But starting September 1st, Stampin' Up! Has 6 stamp sets that they designed dies for. So now you can get it in a bundle. And the number that I have up there for you is the number to buy the bundle where you can buy these two together. This is a really fun set and we're going to get started so you guys can see how to make some really fun cards with this set. So let me get this out of the way and move these out of the way for now. And let me bring in the stuff I need for my first card, and I am going to need a scrap piece of paper. All right, so as I've promised, the first card is going to be what I call simple stamping. Now, just because it's called simple stamping doesn't mean it's always a simple card. Sometimes it's a lot of stamping. But I just want to show you how you can work with just the stamp set if that's what you have. So we are going to start out with the soft succulent ink. And we are going to bring in the large tree from this set. And we are just going to stamp this several times. I think you guys are kind of used to how I kind of design my own background by just using the stamps that come in the set to just give it a really fun look. And so I'm just going to stamp those like that. All right. And then next, let me go ahead and close this ink. I try to close my ink and clean my stamp sets because if I don't, hey Brenda, because if I don't, I end up sticking my hand in either the ink or the stamp. So this is a 2-step stamp, and what that means is that it has another stamp that stamps right inside of this first one. Now I'm going to be using Evening Evergreen for this one, and this is the smaller stamp. And a lot of our photopolymer stamps do that just because they're easy to line up because you can see through the stamp. Of course, stamping at halfway makes it a little bit more difficult. So see how I'm just going to stamp that, and it's just going to give it a little more oomph. And I don't get it lined up exactly right. I just kind of try to get where I like it. And let me bring that closer so you can see that. So I just kind of get it. I kind of, you know, give myself like a certain one that I look at when I'm setting this down. And then that just kind of lets me know that I'm getting it in the right place, especially when you're doing like these bottom ones where I've just got part of the stamp on there. Just makes it a little bit easier. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I know that can be a bad word for some of you guys, right? Not perfect. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in, and I'm going to do some masking. And even though this is like a beginner's stamp or card that we're making, that doesn't mean that you don't, you know, that you can still use the masking technique to just help you get, and you'll understand what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to mark off this right side because I'm going to be bringing in, it's like garland, and I'm going to be bringing in cherry cobbler ink. And the way that I do this is I just kind of get it lined up. It's going to be a lot more difficult. Hey, Vanessa. Hey, stranger. And we're just going to get that lined up like so. And then I'm just going to come down here. I've got my light is glaring on this, so hopefully I don't totally mess this card up. Okay, and then we're going to come over here to this one and do the same thing. I'm just kind of sticking it on that right edge to kind of mask off a section, and that's so that I don't get ink in places that I don't want it. And then down here I don't have to worry about it because it's going to be stamping it off the page. So I didn't have to worry about getting a mask over there. Same thing with this one up here. Because I'm just going to be kind of coming across that whole section, I don't really need to mask anything off. But we're going to be using this mask throughout this whole time as we're adding different levels to the stamping here. I'm going to go ahead and bring in a baby wipe. Anytime that you guys, hey Shanine, anytime that you guys get ink on your block like that, you do want to wipe it off because that is a good way to get it all over your paper. So I'm going to be really careful here. Okay, then we're going to come down. And then we're going to come down again. I'm just going to move my masking. I forgot I re-inked this. I need to not press at all hard. All right. And then we're just going to do this one down here. I think I'll put one right there and then make it look like one's coming in right there. Okay, so there we are with all of our little garland, and I am really getting ink on that one edge. I got to make sure I'm not getting it on my hand as well, because I can, that always ends up bad, right? When you get it on your hand. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to come in with some of the little tiny ornaments, and let me show you the stamp set because it's pretty cool. It has all these little tiny ornaments, and then this is the one I just used. This is a really cool one too, because when you stamp it, it like goes up and down the tree. So really neat little stamp set. And this one is not in the mini catalog. It's in the annual catalog under the holiday section in the annual catalog. All right, so let's bring in, let's see, I think I'm just going to use 2 of them. And I am going to be stamping these in Night of Navy and Gorgeous Grape. I know I'm doing some different colors for Christmas, huh? All right. So we're going to start up here. And I'm just going to come in and I'm just going to stamp that right there. Then I'm going to come in with this one. Oh, wrong color. Let me stamp that off. I could clean it, but I'm just going to stamp it off. I went this one in Night of Navy. Oh my gosh, I've got a glare on my block. I hope I'm going to get this on here or stamped in here straight so it doesn't look totally crazy. Oh, I keep doing that. I keep going for the gorgeous grape. You know, it's because I like purple, right? Okay, and then we're going to just do that right there. And then up here, I think I'm just going to kind of make it look like it's coming down from the top a little bit. And then I'm just going to turn this one. Oh my gosh, me and this grape today. I need to just say, okay, this one, this ornament is going to be grape. The other one is going to be Night of Navy. So I can quit doing that. Oh. That's what happens when you have two ink pads open at the same time. It can get a little confusing. All right, so we're going to do our gorgeous grape there. Night of Navy, gorgeous grape. And then we'll bring in another Night of Navy down here. Oh, I did gorgeous grape or gorgeous grape. Oh my gosh. Telling ya, there's something about purple for me. I gravitate towards it, right? Okay, so there we have the ornaments. So those are done. So now I can get rid of those two colors. So well, that's not true. I need those two colors still. So then what I decided to do was I didn't really kind of like the fact that I had so much open area. And so I wanted to bring in some of the other stamps that are in this set and kind of fill in this area. And this is kind of how you make your own background. So I'm going to come in with the other like little curvy stamp. And this is going to be gorgeous grape. That is the color I actually want. And we're just going to kind of come in and stick that like so. And then I'm going to come over here and come in there. I don't know if I left myself enough room at the top, but I did down here at the bottom. And then we're going to come in on this edge right here. And then let me see if I think I can fit that up there. All right. So, oh, I think I want to put some right there. Yes, I do. All right. Then I'm going to come in. I am going to shut the gorgeous grape right now. Actually, before I do that, I need to go ahead and do the little star on the top of the trees. I have a couple trees that there's going to be a star on the top of, because that's one of the stamp sets as well. So let me find the star. There it is. Okay, so we're going to ink this up. And then I'm just going to come in and stick that star on the top of the trees that you can see the tops of. Like so. I really have fun with these stamp sets that have a bunch of little tiny stamps in them, because I just think there's so much you can do when you let your creativity get going. You know, and for those of you that are just starting and you don't think you're creative, you know what? It's just about sitting and stamping, and it's gonna turn out beautiful almost every single time. I have a lot of friends that are nervous about designing their own cards, and I always just tell them, just do it. It's gonna be gorgeous. Because we all have different perspectives and the way that things like do or do not look. And you know, that's part of the fun of the creativity in each of us. I'm trying to see if I want to put this anywhere, if it'll fit. I don't think it'll fit anywhere else. I might be able to fit another one kind of right there. There we go. All right. Done. So that is all I'm going to be doing with the stamping on the front of the card. So how many of you are nervous about creating your own cards? I know I have a lot of my team on here with me, so that's probably not going to be a big answer here. But let me just bring that. See how cute that is when it's all stamped? How fun is this? It's so much fun. Okay, so what I'm going to do is bring in my Gorgeous Grape card base. And we are just going to start putting the front of this card together. Oh, I think I did forget to cut a piece here. I'll cut it in just a quick second. I always do that. I think I have everything so set. And then I start putting the card together. Maybe it's because I always do, I try to do 3 cards. So I think I've got everything together, and it's probably because I start doing the next card before I'm finished with the one I'm working on. And that's why I end up with some pieces that I need that I have not cut prior to doing this. All right. So here we go with this one. And again, remember, this is just stamping and basically not even using, this is just stamping and using cardstock. That's the cool thing about the whole simple stamping. And then again, I'm coming in with some more Night of Navy. But I just want to show you how cute these cards can be. And obviously you can add ribbon, you can add embellishments if you want to. But I also wanted to show you that you don't have to. That these cards look cute just being stamped. Sorry if my head's in there. I'm trying to see if I'm getting that on there straight. It's really hard to do this when you're trying not to stick your head in the camera. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I'm stamping it and I don't have a camera on me, my head is right over the top of this stuff. Alrighty. All right, so there's that. Let me grab the piece that I need that I forgot to pull earlier. So it's basically just going to be one of the 1/2 inch. These, I'm sure everybody has this in their stash. It's those little 1/2 inch pieces that you're like, whatever am I going to do with that, right? And I'm going to show you right now. This is what I do with these. This is exactly what I do with them, is I use them for when I'm stamping sentiments that are little sentiments, and they work perfect for that. I think that's probably, I think I'm fair to say all of us have some of those in our stash, right? So is there anyone here who doesn't have this size in their stash? That would be a better question. It's like, who doesn't have some of those? Okay, so I'm just going to take this, and this is one of the sentiments in this set, and it says peace and joy. And then I'm going to come back in. Sorry, I'm trying to clean as I go. Oh, you're sad that the stamping is covered up. But but here's the deal. If you don't want to put a strip on it, you could put just a little tiny circle somewhere and put your sentiment on that. That's kind of, I think, Shanine, that's kind of the same for me as like, which side of the designer series paper am I going to use, right? It's like, and sometimes when I'm using the designer series paper, I don't want to cover any of that up either. So I'm just going to stamp that on that side and then bring it over here and stamp it on this side. Ooh, I made a mess on that one. I think I did just re-ink this. You know what? I'm just going to turn that over because that came out really bad. Let's do that one more time. That's why there's 2 sides to every paper. Ha ha ha. And of course, I don't have very much of this paper, so I would never be able to replace or redo that, right? I didn't get that one quite as straight, though, in the stamping. Oh, shoot, I did that in blue. Oh, my gosh, I'm really messing this up. Okay, I'm going to start over. Hold on. Everybody bear with me. I'm going to cut another piece. My goodness. Apparently, I'm having problems talking and stamping tonight. Telling you, it's been a day. Well, so I have to tell you, my computer crashed, and I had to go get a new computer, and so I've been working on getting that up and running today. That's always fun. All right, let's see if I can get this straight. Okay, now red. Let me move the blue out of the way. You know, and I will tell you guys this. When you're stamping, you need to learn how to laugh at yourself, because there are so many times where you're sitting and you think you've got everything going just perfect, and things just will fall apart while you're stamping. You'll have stuff on your hands, and then you touch something, and yeah. And then you do what I've been doing tonight and stamping the wrong color all night long. That's always fun. And there's been times where I'm just like, I'm going with it. If maybe that color was meant to be, and that's why I was stamping it. Okay, so then we're just going to take this little piece and stick that right. We're just kind of centering that. And then for the inside, I'm going to use one of the other stamp sets. Not the other stamp sets. One of the other sentiments. And now my words aren't working tonight. Ladies, you are in trouble watching me tonight. It's like, oh my goodness. Just when I think I've got everything together, then I have a night like this, right? Okay, so let me see if I can get, oh, we're gonna do blue and purple again. Here we go. Let's see if I can get the right ones the way I want them. All right, so this one is the blue one. Yay! Everyone clap. Yay, I did it. Hey, Janet, welcome. Again, guys, if you came in late, this is one of the sets that's in the annual catalog that Stampin' Up! Is doing. They call it the Perfect Partner. It's a limited time only, and they're offering some of the dies with these stamp sets that didn't originally have dies. And so they just became available September 1st. And this one is called Trimming the Tree, and it's not in the mini catalog, it's in the annual catalog. So I had some ladies say, where is that one? I don't see it in the mini catalog. And I'm like, because it's not in there. I mean, some of those ones that came out are in the annual catalog. Oh, see, I almost messed up because I want to put this, I want to mat it before I stick it in there. We are almost done with this first card. Shouldn't have taken quite this long, but it did because I couldn't figure out what I was doing. So let me just get this in here. All right, so there's our first card. What do you guys think? Food night, ladies. Julie, I would like to visit with you soon. Okay, Vanessa. What do you guys think? Do you like just the simple stamping? Isn't that cute? I think it came out so cute. And there's the inside. All right, next card. On to the next one. Oh, I gotta move my stuff. Okay, so for the next one, it's gonna be what we call casual stampers. And what that means is that we just like to add a little bit more to what we're doing. So this time I'm going to be using the dies. And so let me bring in my stuff for this one. We're going to do some die cutting first. And I'm also bringing in, so I am using these two, so the Celebrate Everything Designer Series paper and the Mother of Pearl, and I don't know if you guys can see, it's shiny. Ooh, everyone go, ooh ah, ooh ah. This is specialty paper that is in the annual catalog. So, yeah, I know, it's exciting. Isn't it funny how shimmery stuff just makes us excited? Okay, so what we're gonna do is, let me bring in my big, oh, you know what? I probably could do the little one. I think I can do the little one. Yay! But my little one doesn't have as pretty of plates on them because I'm waiting for my new plates to come in. Can you guys see how much I use these things? Look at them. They're a hot mess. Okay, so what we're gonna do is now we're gonna use these really cool dies that came with this set. And I always try to get my flatter of the two, because see how this kind of starts to curve a little bit? Oh, let me get this out of the way, sorry. See how it kind of curves a little bit? It's got just a little bit, and this one's flatter. So I want my flattest one on the bottom. And then look at all these dies, guys. This thing has like 28 dies in this die set. It is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And really cool. Okay, so we're gonna bring in the Christmas tree, and then we're gonna bring in, okay, so let me show you this. This one is gonna emboss and do some cutting, and this one actually cuts out and embosses. But I want this one in the middle. We're gonna do it together. And I wanna kind of get it so that it's probably easier to move my outside one. So once I get it where I like it, and then it moved on me, then I'm just going to kind of use those little strips of that Post-it note that I've told you guys about before. It's the, so it's this. It's that Post-it note. And you just like tear it off and then make it the size that you want. And we're just gonna run that through our little baby Stampin' Cut emboss machine. All right. And then what it does, look, I will show you this because it's pretty dang cool. Let me stick those back on my magnetic plate so I don't lose. Now you still have this that you can use for something later. And I may create a card with that at some point and stick it on my blog so you guys can see. Let me get this out of the way. I'm gonna need to bring it back in so I'm not moving it. So the cool thing about this is, see how it embossed? But there's even a better thing. It actually will put some of these push through, so you can kind of bend them up and give yourself some like texture. Isn't that cool how it just, you know, you can just kind of fold them up a little bit, and you don't have to do all of them, but if you do some of them, then it gives this a little bit more interest in the card. Now again, we consider this casual stamping because we're adding in the dies and we're adding in some designer series paper, you know, and I think the only thing I'm not adding with this one is ribbon. So, you know, because the Avid one, you just use a lot more pieces. So, and the reason I'm doing this for everybody is just to kind of let you guys figure out, hey, you know, am I an avid stamper? Am I, you know, what kind of stamper am I? Because sometimes you don't know. All right, so then let's bring in our basic white cardstock. And this is from the Celebrating Everything. Guys, this pack of paper is, there's 48 double sheets in this one. And it's called Celebrate Everything. And I believe it might be a Hostess special. But anyway, So, I mean, just tons. And then look how cute the other side is. Super cute. But we're using this side. So I don't see Susie on here tonight. She's my not pink fan. But you know, I decided I was gonna do pink anyway, because you know what? I like pink. And I've seen some Christmas trees decorated in pink that are just beautiful. And then I have a strip of that mother of pearl. We're just gonna lay that down on that left side. And you know what's kind of funny is that sometimes when we use like all of our tools, the card goes together a little bit quicker. But sometimes it's because I pre-prepped some of it. I don't want to disillusion you. Okay, so then I used our rectangle stitch dies and did a piece of smoky slate. And then, so we have this new cool triple, it's called Very Best Trio Punch. Do you see this? So what I did, and what this actually does is it actually puts a design around like the edge of a piece of paper. I want to actually show that to you so you guys can kind of get an idea of what this does. But I ended up using the leftover pieces. But I just want to show you this punch really quick. So if you do all of your corners, see how it makes that design? Isn't that cool? But wait till you see what you can do with the other pieces. See, it makes a little label. Isn't that fun? So fun. And then you're left with all of these little pieces. And I actually cut these out ahead of time from the mother of pearl. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put them on the corners here. If I can get them picked up out of my little thing here. It's like maybe I'm putting them on the corners. So I'm just going to use some liquid glue. And we're just going to take them and I'm just going to attach them to the corners like so. Now I will tell you this, that it cuts them kind of all the same direction. And so I had to put the paper in, so I had it like, so if this was the mother of pearl side, I put it in this way to get two of the edges, and then I flipped it over and put it in upside down so that I got all four edges. Does that make sense? Probably not. So you do have to pay attention to that sometimes when if you're wanting it all to match up right. Because I wanted this, like this edge on the outside and this edge on the inside. So a little tip with if you're using specialty paper where, or you know, designer series paper and you want the same design, you've got to cut two with the paper up and then turn it upside down to get the one that, to get the other sides. Oh my gosh, I can barely, it's not letting me pick it up. Come on now. All right, so we're going to make this fun little guys, how fun is that? Isn't that pretty when you put that on the corners? I love it. I love it a lot. And then I also cut out from this die set this little piece here, and it's like a little like stand, and that's going to go in this bottom corner down here. And I'm going to put that right above my stitched edging. See if I can get that in there straight. Now, before I put the tree on, I'm actually going to put this on here because I am popping it up. So I am going to bring in some dimensionals. Maybe. I always say I'm going to do stuff and then I can't find what I'm looking for. All right. So I'm just going to bring in some dimensionals and we're going to pop this up. Whoops, I got that a little close to the edge. You don't want to get too close to the edge because then you have a tendency sometimes to kind of go past the point of no return. And I'm just going to do that many. If you're mailing it, you would want to put a few more on just in case, so that if when it goes through that little roller at the post office, it doesn't flatten the whole thing. Just a note. All right. Make sure I have this at the bottom. And then I want this to just barely go over this edge here. Trying to get it straight, so bear with me. I kind of hold my breath when I'm trying to get things. So do you see how, like, here's those red pieces? So this is what that is. Isn't that cool? Yeah. So yeah, that's a really cool punch. I love that punch. All right, so then we're going to come in and I'm only going to put glue around the edge, not the center. And the reason being is because I have like bent up some of that and I want it to be able to be free to bend up. And so I'm just going to set that right there. And I hope I'm getting this straight. Let me see. I got to kind of hold it up to see if I'm getting it straight. Okay. So there's that so far. So then what I did was I took a piece of polished pink and I used my embossing powder. So I stamped it with Versamark, put the white powder, and then I put the powder on top of it and heat embossed. Shanine, yes, I do believe it is still available in the catalog. It might be in the, I don't even know, you know what, I'm gonna look for you really quick. I believe it's in the mini catalog, the holiday catalog. Yeah, it's on page 68 of the holiday catalog, that punch. Just so you know. Okay, so let me really quick bring in, so again, like I said, I heat emboss this. And I'm going to use, these are becoming quickly my favorite dies, but I'm going to use the Stylish Shape circles. And it's pretty easy to tell which one to use because it's the one that goes around it. So on mine, it's the number 3, and I number mine from smallest to largest. So we're going to just sit that on there. And any of you guys that know me know that I love any of the stitched dies. If it puts stitching on it, I love the dies. I almost own, yeah, if I see stitching, I'm like, yeah, that's for me. All right. So then we're going to come in and we are going to, this is going to kind of go like right in this section. So what I need to do is I need some dimensionals on this side and not dimensionals on the other side. So I'm actually just going to cut 2 of these together. Just make sure I have the right side here. Yeah, okay. And I'm just going to stick those right there because that's what I need. And then I'm going to bring in my liquid glue and it's going to go on this side. And the reason is because this is already popped up. And so it's going to be sitting on that edge. And so I don't want to put dimensionals on this side or it wouldn't be even. And I know you guys have heard me explain that before, but I continue to explain it to you. Explain it. All right, let me make sure I've got that straight. All right, then what I did was I took my polished pink Stamp and Blend, and I colored in some of our basic jewels. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm just going to place some of these jewels on this tree. And again, guys, I have no rhyme or reason for how I put things on here. I just kind of look at it and say, yeah, that's kind of where that needs to go. All right, and then I'm going to bring this one kind of in the middle there. And then we'll put, whoops, that's not quite where I wanted it, but that's where it ended up. So it's like once you touch the paper, that's pretty much where it's going to go. Let's bring another one, whoops, right there. And then another one out there. Sorry, I'm trying to get some more putty to come out. And let's see, yeah, I think I'm gonna put one, I'm trying to figure out, yeah, let's put it there. Again, as you guys can see, I just kind of plop them on down. And I know I want one in that corner. And maybe right there. Maybe right there. And maybe right there. Ta-da! So I did that pretty quick, just kind of running through. And then this also has these really cute bow dies, and you're going to see me work with those on the next card. And it cuts out 3 at a time. So I cut out 1 for the, well, I cut out 3, but we're using 1 for this card. And I'm just going to put some glue right there in the center of that bow. And that bow is going to be what's top, is my tree topper for this card. And I am going to kind of hold that down for just a hot second to make sure it stays. And then let's work on the inside of the card. So for the inside, of course, I'm going to have a, oh, what did I get on this? I'm going to have a piece of polished pink for a mat on the inside. And you guys know I just like matting. You don't have to, I mean, this is white on the inside. You could just have easily have just stamped on the inside of this and not put this extra piece, but that's kind of how I roll. Okay, we're going to use that same sentiment, and we're going to bring in the polished pink ink. Alrighty. We're almost done with card number 2, and then on to card number 3. And I did prep quite a bit of that one, so it should go fairly quick. And then I want that little bow, and then it has a bow stamp as well, as besides the dies that you can cut out. And we're going to put up the bow down there in the corner. So lots of different options with this set. You know, the first one is all stamping. This one is kind of using the dies and a little bit of the stamps. You know, mainly the sentiment stamps and the bow stamps. So not as much stamping on this card as the first card. But I just want you guys to get the feel of the versatility of stamping. If all you feel like doing is stamping, stamp. If you want to do very little stamping, die cut. Right? I mean, all right, what do you guys think? Let me see if I can get it. Oh, look how shiny and shimmery it is. Do you like? Oh, I hope you guys like this one. This one was tons of fun. So, and then of course I'm going to burnish this edge just a little bit more because it's trying to not shut, but it looks really pretty. I don't know if you guys can see those rhinestones. If you can see that shimmer, that just makes this card really pop. So really fun card. All right, are we ready for card number 3? Dun dun dun. All right, and I did do some prepping on this one, but I do still have some stuff to stamp and cut out, so we'll be working with that as well. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of scrap, and so this time I'm doing it kind of opposite of that first card. The first card I used the, oh, thanks Janine, thanks Janet, I'm glad you guys like that one. So that first card, I did the soft succulent tree first, like the color first, and this time I'm doing the evening evergreen first. So remember, this is a 2-step stamping with this stamp. So there's the evening evergreen, and then I'm going to come in with the soft succulent for the ones that fill in the white. Now you don't even have to fill in the white, guys. Look how cute this is without the white being filled in, right? It looks good just like that. But I'm just trying to show you how to use the stamp set, because a lot of times when people get these stamp sets, they're not sure how to stamp and put them together. The 2-step stamps. They can be a little confusing. All right, there we go. Okay, so see the difference? So now it's got the soft succulent is the I used on the smaller stamp. So you see how it, either way, it looked good. All right, then I'm gonna bring in that die cut machine and we're gonna cut this out. Ooh. Bring in the baby. I call it the baby. So it's that same die that I used to cut out that last one, except I'm not gonna do this one on the inside, which I could. You could still do this and have this actually look pretty cool. But for this one, I decided not to do that because it's a little tricky to get that lined up to make it look right. But you could still do it, and you could have that same look even with stamping. So just so you guys know, you can do that. I tried to use as many of these dies as I could, but Jiminy, there's 28 dies in this set, and I'm only doing 3 cards, so it's like, okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to show them all of the dies, but I do want to point out, so let me bring them in, and so it cuts out, so all of the ornaments that you can stamp, then you can stamp them and then cut them out. Same with the bows, same with this little garland. And then you've got, you know, the little buckets or the baskets. And so you have bows that are die cut, but then all of those stamped ornaments and stars, it has a die to cut those out if you want to stamp them. So really cool die set. All right. So this, the paper that I'm using this time, so some of you might have gotten this paper last year. It was a Christmas paper from our last mini catalog. And it is the Painted Christmas. And so this is one side. I don't have it all sitting here, but I wanted to go ahead and use this because I hadn't used it in a while. And it was one of my favorite papers. It was one that carried over into our mini catalog this year, and I was pretty excited about that. I loved this paper. Okay, so then what I did was I cut out, so remember I told you, so here's this die. So this die cuts out the garland. And I cheated. And I put the adhesive strips on the back so that it would be easier for me to glue this down. I mean, guys, that you know me, if there is an easy button to be had, I'm gonna do it. And so the first card I made with this, using this little garland, I did not put the adhesive strips on the back, and it worked fine, but this is just so much easier. I mean, if they're gonna give us an easy button, we might as well use it, right? So I want to try to form that little curvy thing at the top there. And this is going to be longer. And so I've got that on there, and then I'm going to snip this end off over here. Like so. Alrighty. I think I'm ready. Yeah, okay, so now I can go ahead and put this on our card front. And this is Evening Evergreen as the card base on this. This Evening Evergreen is one of my favorite greens. And it's an in color, so I know eventually it's going to go away, and I'm going to be a very sad person on that day. All right. Then what we're going to do is we are going to bring in, this is the Elegant Trim. So you can, it's simply Elegant Trim, and it has gold and silver, and we are using the silver. And so basically what I'm going to do is I am just going to take, and I'm just going to kind of wrap this, you know, like twice around. I want this to be kind of to where it will, you'll see what I'm doing in a second, and it'll make more sense. So let me do that, and then the next circle I want to be a little bit bigger, but I need it to kind of come together. And you got to kind of work with this to get it the way that you want it to look. But I need a coming together point. Yeah. Okay. So then I'm going to bring in some mini glue dots. And I'm just going to, well, maybe. I'm just going to kind of stick these down in the center here. And then I'm going to take this. Actually, I needed that lower. Okay, I didn't get that in the right spot. It's hard to hold this and get those glue dots all at the same time. I actually need it here. These glue dots aren't going to hurt anything. If anything, it'll help hold this in place. Okay, so where's my edge? And one of the things you can do, you'll watch me right now, is I kind of want to make this one a little bit smaller so it fits on my page. So did you see how I just kind of grabbed it and moved it? Then I'm going to do this again, and we're going to put one kind of coming out this way. And this one's going to be a little bit smaller, so I don't need as much of this. The other thing is if you want it smaller, you just bring everything in closer. Oh, see, that worked out perfect. I needed that after all. Right there. And I am going to trim off those edges right there. Now, one thing that you might want to do, because I have found that it's better to, like, because I'm going to be popping up the tree that goes over this, I want to kind of do some extra securing with different areas just so that it stays secure. Because I have had it come undone once I put what's, like, if there's something that's going flat down on top of it, you don't need to do this extra little thing that I'm doing. But I'm just going to put some extra stuff there just to keep it kind of in place. Now what I'm going to do is I am just going to put some dimensionals on the back of this because we're going to be popping this up. And this is the one time where I always try to tell you to straddle the, when you're putting ribbon down, I know you guys have heard me say it, make sure you straddle the ribbon. Yeah, this time you're not going to be able to do that. Okay. And I'm actually going to put a few extra dimensionals just because I want to make sure that this is gonna have a good chance, because you know this might push up some areas, and so I want to make sure that we've got some of these dimensionals that are actually going to stick to that paper. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. All right, so then I'm going to come in and we're just going to center this, and I am coming kind of down below where these meet, and then I'm just going to push that down. Now those dimensionals have also grabbed some of that trim and is helping to keep it in place. Alrighty, so I'm gonna do this part first and then we're gonna decorate the tree. So I've got some of this soft succulent ribbon, and I am just gonna come in and just kind of trim that so that it kind of fits like so. And then we're gonna do the same thing. But I want this one to be like a little bit longer than that one. All right, and then all I'm gonna do here is come in with my Stampin' Seal Plus and put 2 little strips right there. And then this is going to be, and I want this kind of at an angle, not like perfectly straight. And then this one is gonna pull out a little longer, and I am gonna actually trim this because it's going off the edge of my paper, and I don't want it, and I kind of want this to be a little more angled on this end. So again, trimming, trimming, trimming. All right, so that's gonna go like so. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna come in and I'm going to use that Peace and Joy again. And this time we are going to be using Real Red. You guys should see my desk. Oh, you can kind of see it to the right over here. It's starting to get a little messy. It's like, so how many of you guys, like seriously, like how long, like within minutes or seconds does it take once you start creating, does it take for your desk to become like a hot mess? I'm gonna say with me, it's literally 5 minutes. Once I start designing, because like I have all the stamps out, I have everything just, you know, all over my desk, and I'm always playing with them. Okay, so then it has this really fun label, and so we're gonna bring that die cut machine in one more time, and we're gonna cut this out. Do you see how fun this stamp, you guys, this die set? I mean, it is cutting out so many things, and labels, and trees, and oh yeah, way cool die set. There's 2 other labels on this that you can cut out. This is like an all-in-one set here. And the cool thing is if you already bought the stamp set, all you need to do is buy the dies. And for those of you that are coming to my Stampin' Bingo, you might want to hold off on buying some of this stuff because you might win some. Maybe, I'm not sure, but it could happen. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some dimensionals on this as well. See, this is what's crazy is like I keep pulling out new sheets of, do you see how I have like all these sheets of half-used dimensionals? Some of it is because of my card class, but others is because as I'm doing these classes with you guys, I have it sitting right here and I go to look where I think I just laid it and I can't find it. So I have to grab another one. Okay guys, no one's responding to how long does it take before your desk is a hot mess when you're creating. Now this is a little bit hard to get straight just because the ribbon isn't straight. So I'm trying to get it kind of centered underneath the tree, and I'm kind of looking at my edge here and my edge here. to get it on there straight. Ta-da! Okay, guys, are we ready to decorate? So what I did was I cut out some of these detailed ornaments and bows from the, shoot, that was the one paper I didn't put up here for you guys. It is this. This is some of the specialty paper that's in the mini catalog. It's the real red and white glimmer paper. Brenda, less than 5 minutes. That a girl. That a girl. Okay. So bear with me while I build some of these ornaments. And maybe I'll come in a little bit closer so you guys can see, because I know these are like super tiny. And so again, I use the adhesive strips on the back of this. I put it on the back before I cut these out. Now the other thing I want to do is bring in my silicone mat, because you'll see that this bow doesn't, you know, it overlaps that little ornament. And so there's still some sticky that's sticky. So I'm going to just go ahead and build all of these. I should have done this sooner. Oh my gosh, what was I thinking? I should have like put these together sooner. So I'm just peeling that off and sticking them onto the ornaments. But because the top, you know, the backs of those bows are still sticky, I'm using my silicone mat because it won't stick to my silicone mat. I can pull it up without it tearing up anything. Another really good use to these silicone mats. All right. Aren't those ornaments cute with the little bows on them? Oh, you probably can't see. My big fingers are in the way. Oh, Shanine, your work area is small anyway, so that doesn't help. Okay, I'm gonna bring you guys out a little bit more. I don't think you need to be quite that close. So your work area is small, so you have a mess immediately. That a girl. It's like we do what we gotta do, right? It always amazes me though, like how quick I have a mess. It's like, seriously? It's like I just started. All right, let me see. I don't know if I'm gonna need all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe only 6, we'll see. Oh, well, that would be all of them because I think I cut, because these dies cut. So just so you know, I'm going to show you the die that I used. So it's this die right here, and there's 2 of them. So I was able to cut out 6 at a time. And then the bows, the same thing. There's 2 of these bows, and I was able to cut out 6 at the same time. Guys, that is so awesome when you can cut out that many in one fell swoop, right? All right. Alrighty. So let me move that out of the way, and then I'm going to bring in the card, and basically I'm just going to start decorating my tree now. Oh, that fell off. Okay, hold on. Let me get the back off of this one. That's probably what I should have done. And I am going to use tweezers for this. So I'm going to set this here. And I'm going to grab that bow that I had on there. And then that's going to go like so. All right, and then I'm going to grab these 2 that are kind of the same. Again, I've got to get the backing off the ornament because I put those adhesive strips on the back of the ornaments as well. And so if you guys don't know what I'm talking about on adhesive strips, this is what they look like. You buy these and it comes in a huge sheet like this, and you just cut it down to the size that you need and put it on the back of whatever you're cutting. And it basically just turns it into a sticker. That's kind of like having a superpower, isn't it? What do you think? I think that's kind of like a superpower. Like, Stampin' Up! Has given me a superpower because I can turn anything that I die cut out into a sticker. That's at least a card making superhero thing, right? Superpower. So what superpower would you guys like to have to make your card making easier? That's a good question. What's a good superpower for card making? Because I mean, I just made one doing this, so you guys need to come up with some superpowers for card making. Let's see if anyone has some. Good night. You're not finishing my card, Brenda. Is it that late? Oh, it's only 8. Okay. I know, you get up early. You don't have a superpower before you leave, Brenda? All right. So then I'm also going to bring in, I don't know if you guys have seen these in the catalog. Again, these are new. These are called red and green adhesive back pearls, but it also has gold and silver. And so I'm going to use the silver. And we're just going to grab a few of these silver and fill in up here and here. And then we're going to finish up the inside of the card, and then we're going to put a little star on the top of our tree. So there, and there. Oops. One of the red ones fell out because I was practicing with the red ones on something else and I ended up not liking them. So I pulled them off and ended up losing the backing. I'm going to come in with the star right at the end. So let me just show you what I did on the inside of this. Again, so this time I think we'll use that Sending Christmas Cheer on the inside of this. This is the other sentiment, and it's the one I used on the second card. So that's going to go there. And then I'm going to come in, let me move that. Then I'm going to come back in with that tree. And I'm only going to use the evening evergreen. I'm not going to fill in with the, did you guys see this? Hopefully you did. I guess I need to make you guys go out again. There you go. Then I'm coming back in with that big tree. And I'm going to use the evening evergreen. And we're going to stamp, and then stamp again, and then stamp again. Okay, so it's got the trees right there at the bottom. And then this is going on the inside, and then stick with me while I finish it up with the little star that I cut out. So this one is more of an avid stamping, only because it's like we die cut, we brought in ribbon, we brought in embellishments, you know, but amazingly, all I did was use this set. That tells you how amazing this set is. Do you guys see that? Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, I am so bad. All right, so we're going to close that up, and then we're going to bring in, I cut out a little star. Again, I put the adhesive strip on the back just to make my life easier, because it's now my superpower, right? I'm just trying to figure out which way I want this star to go. There we go. And then I'm going to take that little star and stick that on that tree right up there. All right, card number 3. What do you guys think? Do you like it? Oh, Shanine, I'm so glad you like them all. But you know, I'm glad to hear you guys say that, because that just goes to show you that you can just stamp and have a really nice card. You know, you can do some die cutting and have a really nice card. Yeah, it's just, you know, Stampin' Up! Makes it easy for us to create cards. Okay, so let me bring in all of the cards from tonight. I know, Susie just got here, so she didn't see me do the pink card. All right, guys, there we go. So simple stamping, casual stamping, and avid stamping. Do you see how you just kind of graduate up with the cards that you're doing? And you have 3 wonderful cards made with this set. So this, again, this is one of those new partner sets, perfect partners. Here, let me do it this way. And it's got the 28 dies and the stamp set. So really fun set, really fun cards. Let me do it this way so that you guys can kind of see the possibilities, right? So yeah, I hope you guys like the cards tonight, and you could see how I did different things with each one, and get your creativity going. So again, let me just put this up here. That is the bundle. If you didn't get the stamp set already, you definitely want to get the bundle. I mean, and if you already have the stamp set, all you need is the dies. And here's the number right here on the dies if you wanted. So you can order it as a bundle and save 10%, or you can order it as just the dies. And I'm going to put this up one more time. So if you guys do order from me and you need the hostess code, there it is. Mandy, I'm so glad you're here tonight. Welcome, welcome. So there's the hostess code if you are thinking about ordering. Anyway, guys, thank you for being here with me tonight. I love creating, and it's so much more fun when I have people and I have comments. It just makes it more exciting for me. And anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the cards. Again, make sure you subscribe, follow, like, all of that good stuff on my social media. And don't forget, you know, if you want to place an order, I'd love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator if you don't already have one. And those of you guys that are on my team, guys, you want this set, man. This is a cool set. And like I said, I just sat down and made these 3 cards. I made 2 last night and 1 this morning. Because I didn't even use all the dies yet in the die set. So pretty amazing set. I hope you guys will consider getting it, because it's going to make tons of really fun Christmas cards. And if you guys are coming to my Stampin' Bingo this weekend, you know what? You guys just might win some of this stuff. Who knows? We'll see. It'll be a surprise. Anyway, I'll talk to all of you. Some of you this Saturday, some of you I know are coming to my class on Thursday. I'm excited for that as well. So everybody have a great night. Thank you for being here, and we will be talking to you soon. Bye.